What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the RAD. I'm Nicki Dimalanta. My friends call me Rogue Leader.
Ooh, and I'm Nicki Dimalanta, and everybody calls me Dimmy.
What? The past month, I should say.
I'll tell you what.
Pretty much.
It's
that we've had.
It's been a lot.
It's been, yeah. For those of you who follow us on Beyond the Schmodown, you're pretty much aware of the past couple of weeks of madness that we had. First, it started off really good with Celebration, which was an awesome time.
It did. Well, it started even further back than that.
Did it?
The month of May. The month of May started with the craziness of you having family in town.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And us going to your parents' house and seeing your family, that your brother and our sister-in-law and their kid, our nephew.
Yeah.
That was the first time we were meeting him.
Yeah.
They were in town from California, and then we didn't realize until we got there that on the last day or whatever, it was like, oh, by the way, we're inviting over all the other family that's here in town.
Yeah, because they haven't seen any of us in a while, and
so Andrew's 57 cousins came over with their 82 kids.
So the proper number is my 3 other cousins' wives. One wasn't there because she was ill. And then one of the cousins only has 2 kids, and they were, they're older, not old, but, and then one of them only has one and expecting one. So that was, but he's tiny. He's not even a year old.
Between your 3 cousins, they have 8 kids.
Yeah.
Between those 3 cousins that you have, there's 8 children amongst
because the oldest cousin has 4 kids.
And they're all boys. It's the kind of thing where it's how when you have people that have fun personalities, big personalities, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of like you could have 10 people in a room and it feels like 20.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah, that's what happens usually with kids.
When you got kids in the mix, they have the energy of about 3 people.
Yeah, the older ones were they're in that stage. They're preteen, 11, 12. They were
too cool for school.
Yeah, but they were still
play Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yeah,
people.
But they were well behaved. So
Ghost Protocol. That's a Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what it's called.
Ghost Protocol.
I don't know. Zombies, whatever the new Call of Duty.
No, but you know what I mean. The older ones were well behaved.
No, they were great.
They were very
so
great.
They
played.
our girl.
Yeah, they played with our daughter. They were chasing around, but then the younger kids came in, and it's just the atmosphere just shifted.
It just became
became
a wild animal house.
Because I remember the group of cousins that came over. I remember what we were like. We were 6 boys, all boys, and I remember I remember the stories of us being ridiculously rambunctious. I'm probably sure I told this story before on one of our podcasts.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Of when we got together, we just caused havoc, and we called it WrestleMania. And usually ended up with one of us getting hurt.
Nope, don't have the patience for that.
And that was pretty much what happened when the young, because like I said, the older ones that were 11, 12, pretty well behaved. But the ones that were ranging from age 4 to 7.
I mean, there was 6 months to 7.
Yeah. That's when
6.
It got out of control.
It was it was a lot of people. Felt like more than it was.
Yeah.
Make 10 men feel like 100.
Yeah, and I'm not saying these kids were were bad kids.
No,
or
not at all.
No,
it was
just their kids.
Spirited bunch.
Yeah, they're just kids.
And so that was a really fun time. It was a lot of fun for our little girl to be able to see her cousin for the first her one cousin for the first time. The other one she'd met before, so for her to be able to see them again, that was a lot of fun. And it was great because it was a lot of family we had not seen in a long time since pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
So in that regard, it was so much fun.
It was nice to see our nephew because she loves him so much.
God.
It took a while because he's very shy at first, but then it took we were there for a day, and then he started getting
come out of the shell
a little bit, and then you couldn't stop them from playing.
But also a lot of times our little girl was all over him, and hug attacking him, and he's just kind of looking at his dad yo, you gonna help me with this? Get her off of me,
Dad.
Like at one point they're playing and her cousin just looks over at the adults and he goes, she's loud.
No, but yeah, but like when they did start warming up to them, and they just she copied him most of the time.
Oh, she's a little mimic.
Yeah, and she loves people.
And he's only like a month older than her, so they were a great little. It's not even an age gap. They were perfect for each other.
Yeah, we talked about like we talked to my brother about like what he does and what she does, and like they're the exact same kid.
Yeah,
but I think we said this on our last show. They're the same kid, but they're two sides of two sides of a coin.
Yeah,
basically the same kid, but their personalities are
still different.
Still different. He's very reserved and takes him a while to warm up with people. She loves people.
Yeah,
she'll go sit and like we go to this one activity every Saturday with a bunch of like kids, and she'll go up to parents and just sit in their lap.
Yeah, she'll go up to other parents that aren't us and just sit in their lap.
She loves people,
and they look at us. It's usually a mom, which I'm okay with, and like she'll just go sit in some other lady's lap, and she'll like look over at me, and I'm like, sure.
Fine. And the moms are always cool. They're like, oh yeah, okay, sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a really fun time. It just made us nervous because being around that many people.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of kids. I hope we don't get sick because
the week after,
not even like 2 weeks after that, we were going to Star Wars Celebration in California. And we were like, we have paid a lot of money for this trip. Yeah. And we've also waited like 2 years.
2 years for it, yeah.
So we were like, we cannot get sick. And so that was one thing that we were really nervous about, seeing all the family and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, if we get sick before this trip and we have to cancel or something, we're going to fucking lose it.
Which sucks because that happened to one of my mutuals. Yeah. She I don't know if she lives out in California, but from what I understand, she's like, oh, I'm so excited for Celebration. And the day before, COVID.
Well, you know what?
Oh my God.
Blessing in disguise. Yeah. Could you imagine if she just hadn't tested that day and she just flew out, and then maybe the day she flew out, she like the first day of it, she tested positive. Like, blessing in disguise. Thank God she tested. I mean, it sucks for her.
Yeah. It sucks.
Because it's the wild thing is that you can test negative one day and the very next day
you're positive.
So she could have, if her timeline had been 1 day later, then she would have been unleashed into a horde of people with COVID.
Yeah.
So, I guess, things happen for a reason sometimes. But yeah, so luckily everybody was cool after that trip, seeing all the family.
Yeah.
And then we flew out to Celebration. That was a really fun time.
Such a great time. Like I was so excited just to be out there, because I've said it everywhere. There's nothing like Celebration. Every celebration we've gone to has been a blast. Even the first one, we had no idea what we were doing, and we didn't know anybody. It was just us like roaming the floor and
wandering,
milling about. Yeah, just like we ran into a couple of people. Like I remember, like we stalked the Collider people. Yeah. We actually, I interviewed who was it? It was
from the Collider.
Yeah, from Collider. I interviewed Perry Nemiroff, which was a lot of fun. We met up with Hartwell the first time there, because we've been talking back and forth online before we met each other. But then we interviewed each other for our YouTube channels. Interviewed Mark Ellis. Ellis is so cool.
He is the best.
I know you're probably busy, but do you mind if I just like talk to you for a couple of minutes? Like, yeah, sure, no problem.
He is just one of the best people out there. Yeah, he's
so cool. But that was our experience the first time. And then we were lucky enough to go out to Chicago and then meet all the Showdown people. That was fun.
Yeah. That was a really good time.
But this time around was just like
the best one yet, I think, for us so far.
Yeah, because I think we said it before, like this is the first time we went the celebration that we did the most. We stayed there all freaking day. We actually got into panels. We were there. Yeah.
For the first time, we got into panels.
Yeah.
And we met up with a bunch of people. We saw a lot of our friends, went to a bunch of panels. They announced that Mandalorian experience where it wasn't like a lottery where you had to get in. It was just a matter of you wait in line.
Yeah.
And like reserving spots or going to standby line. And that was really cool because, you walk through Celebration. Well, it's a double-edged sword, because I was telling you, I think I told you after we were done with the Mandalorian experience. So what the Mandalorian experience was they announced Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau during one of their big panels, this was the Lucasfilm Expo.
Yeah.
They announced that they were opening up this Mando experience, and what it was they wanted to give fans,
like
gift, if you will.
Yeah, an up close look at
They took
stuff.
set pieces and costumes and
props,
props, miniatures directly from the set, they said, and brought them to Celebration into one of the halls, a big hall, separate hall, and it was all on display. And they actually, next to some of these set pieces and miniatures and costumes, they actually had like pictures of it in the show.
Yeah.
Which was crazy that we could like walk up to a more or less a life-size N1 Starfighter.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
Bonkers.
You could walk up to Black Chrysanthemum and see him life-size in front of you. Crazy. So,
what would you think your favorite thing in that entire expo was?
The expo or the Mandalorian experience?
The Mandalorian experience. Because I think the N1 was probably the highlight. Everybody's like, oh, because everybody loved the N1 Starfighter when it dropped in the show. It's like, holy crap, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, probably that.
Because I can't tell you how many pictures and videos and like Instagram stories or TikToks I've seen people like, oh, Grogu's waving at me. It's like, yeah, we've all seen it by now.
Yeah.
So
no, that was probably the best part of it. Just because I think what made it the best part was that it was in the middle of the room, and it was like the biggest thing there.
Yeah, it was like the centerpiece of the.
It was the centerpiece of the whole room. It was tremendous, and it was just really cool to see. And it was cool to see the miniatures too, because I was like, "What is this?" It was like, some crazy 1/32 scale or whatever it was, and I was like, "This was in the movie."
It's like,
and they had like pictures of it, and they take miniatures and they make them look like life-size gigantic starfighters, and I'm like, that is just crazy.
Yeah, because
magic of filmmaking.
Yeah, on this, and I think especially for the Mandalorian, like for all the flybys, you'll see that's the model they use. They just put it on a rig.
It's crazy.
Past the camera, like they tried. I remember this hit somewhere that they had like a huge library of like movements and camera moves that they wanted to replicate. So they went back and watched like all of like the Star Wars like original ones. They wanted to mimic the movements of the ships. So they backlogged like, all right, this is how the ship moved and how they replicated it, and they try to get it as close as possible as that. Like, that's really cool. So they use miniatures for all those shots.
But the other thing, though, that like the other thing that made it like it's weird, because I think something that kind of took away from the experience for me is that when you go to Celebration and you walk the floor, the main floor where there's like vendors and whatever, you see all sorts of. You see the droid builders, and they've got their astromechs just beeping and bopping and rolling all over the floor, and they will have their little control, remote control things where they can drive the astromech right up to you and interact with you, life size. I say life size like droids are fucking real, but like a life size droid will just roll up to you and just beep and bop and flash lights at you, and it's so cool, and they look so realistic. And then you see these amazing cosplays, and you see these incredible things that people have built, and they're so lifelike and true to film in so many cases that when we went into the Mandalorian experience and saw actual literal set pieces, I was kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because like all the fan-made things look so
just as
amazing
good.
that it almost not cheapens, that's not the right word at all, but it almost just takes away from the shock and awe of like, holy crap, that's an R2 that was in the Mandalorian. Well, yeah, as soon as we left Mandalorian experience, another R2 came up to me and beeped at me.
Yeah.
That looked just as good as that one.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that just kind of
it was cool to see actual really props
cool to
from
know,
moves. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they weren't, and they were just lying to us.
Well,
I doubt
one of the props that there it goes.
Well, yeah, because there's definitely gonna be multiples of certain things. It's not like there's only gonna be one R2 unit for the whole show. There's probably gonna be multiple. But yeah, that was just one thing that I thought about, that I'm like, God, it's so crazy that people are so talented that it almost makes me like desensitized to being around real props, because the fan-made ones are just so incredible. But that's part of the fun of Celebration, is walking around. I think even if you don't go to panels, part of the fun is just walking around, seeing people's costumes, because you'll see people that have these hyper realistic, they look just like, it's going to be hard when you don't, when you choose a cosplay where it's like not a helmet or no mask, and you're just like, your face is just out there. Because if you don't look like the actor, it's going to be like, okay, cool costume. But when you have people that have like full masks or full helmets, that's when you can really go nuts and be like, oh my God, it looks like you just stepped out of the movie.
Yeah.
You know? So it's crazy the variations of different cosplays you can see and the different takes people put on things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we did run into that one, what's his name? Chair Imwe.
Oh my God.
That guy looked so much like Donnie Yen.
So much like Donnie Yen. It was crazy. And he had contacts in and everything to look like Donnie Yen's character.
And I do admire the commitment some of these cosplayers do, because that guy especially, I was like, oh, am I going to get a picture? All he did was nod, and he was like in character, so to speak. And it's like some of these guys, because that happened at, I think it was it was Orlando, when I ran into, I can't remember the Legends character that this lady was cosplaying as, but she was like acting like the character, or her interpretation of the character, cool. And she never broke it. So I was like, whoa, that's
really
that's
cool.
really, that's a huge commitment that you don't get anywhere except for like conventions.
But then you have people that kind of go off the rails and do like crossover Star Wars inspired this, or you know, like Star Wars inspired something from another fandom or what have you. Like at one point we're walking around and we see 3 out of 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles full costume, head to toe,
like they're coming out of the movie.
Turtles with lightsabers, and they didn't have robes on, but there's two
Jedi and then one Mando.
Okay.
I think it was Michelangelo. That was the it's on my Instagram.
I don't remember, but and they had an astromech droid with them that was like gold and blackish or grayish, and the astromech droid. At one point, I was teleported back to like 1995 because at one point we're talking to our friends and they're all taking pictures. All the Ninja Turtles are taking pictures with their droid. And then at one point you hear the droid start to play the original theme song from the arcade game.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God, I'm a child again. Holy shit. Like, it was just so cool and so creative. That one person that took the Hulkbuster but made it R2-D2 file.
Yeah, I remember he went, because there was a cosplay competition. I saw a clip from it, and it wasn't the Hulkbuster. He named it, I think it was the Vader Buster, I think he called it.
Okay.
So it was something along those lines. It was it was like R2's armor to fight.
Well, R2 does save everybody all the time. Yeah. So that does make sense.
But yeah, that's wild. It's like some people are so creative to think of that kind of crossover is, and one, to think of that crossover, then two, make it a reality. It's like, can you imagine the amount of hours and months and years to get that thing together? I
feel like at one point we also saw somebody dressed up as a minion, like from Despicable Me, but they were like a Darth Maul minion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why? What fever dream did you wake up from that you're like, oh, I got it. I know what I'm doing for celebration. I'm going to be a minion Maul. Like, I just want to know what goes on in these people's brains when they think of these things. And also, remember those girls that were dressed up as Twi'leks?
Twi'leks, yeah.
They were green and purple, and they were those Twi'leks. If you don't know what a Twi'lek is, I'm sorry. Google it. It's one of the dancers in Jabba's palace, and they had Hooters outfits on. They're from Hooties. Hooties, right down the street from Junior Crickets. You know what I'm talking about? They were Hooties girls, and they had these cute green drinks on trays, and they were just
that. Yeah,
it was great. It's so creative, and everyone is always very appreciative. You can go up to anybody and be like, great costume, and strike up a conversation with anybody.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. You're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're on wherever, social media, and a lot of times Star Wars fans get a bad rep. And deservedly a lot of times, because
if you're that type of quote unquote fan,
especially if you've been following Kenobi recently. So much negativity and toxicity, and you're kind of like, God damn, like, how is this a welcoming fandom?
Yeah.
You go to Celebration?
Yeah.
I knock on wood, out of 3 celebrations, I have yet to have a negative experience. So everybody's just really nice and welcoming.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they had the opening like video montage for the first panel, the Lucasfilm thing, and
so
like
good.
Like I was getting choked up. I was like, this is why we're here.
Yeah.
And then they had a wrap up one that they released on YouTube. I watched that. I got choked up watching it. It's like, that's why I'm a fan.
I don't think I watched the wrap up one.
The wrap up one is basically the same thing, but like they took like clips of like all the panels and like what, and they interviewed people. It's like, oh, why did you come to Celebration type of deal. It's like, you know, I see somebody from across the lobby floor, and we run towards each other and give each other a giant hug, because we haven't seen each other in years. And this is what brought us together. And it's like, yes, that's what this fandom's about.
Yeah.
That's the fandom I want to be a part of, and I've always loved.
Yeah.
Not this arguing and bickering over when are we going to get a Clone Wars flashback.
I don't like the way Kenobi is portrayed in this movie because I'm a professional screenplay writer all of a sudden, and I think I know what good and bad writing is, and I could do better.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've tried to be that kind of content creator in the past for both this channel and my TikTok of like, I want to give my opinion on Star Wars, and those videos really don't do well as my other ones. And it's like, do I really want to like try to, because it's already saturated enough. There's so many so many people, and if you haven't gotten your way in within a certain amount of time, you're probably never going to crack it.
Probably. So there's already some, pretty big creators out there that people are going to flock to. And and also,
and I don't want to deal with that part of the fandom of like and this is a big reason why a lot of other people that are big in like the like reactor space, they don't talk about Star Wars because they don't want to deal with it. It's like, I totally get it. I don't want to have to deal with people like shitting on me for like, hey, I'm really enjoying Kenobi. I loved it. I've liked every single episode. And it like pisses them off. Like, how dare you like something that I don't like? Yeah, exactly. I don't want to deal with that. And like, I'd rather just create stuff that people are enjoying, and people like my stuff because, it's what I'm good at. Yeah. So, but it's also like, I don't know what happened to just enjoying things. Yeah. Like, has there been a thing or two in Kenobi? Like I know I've told you a couple times now, but the one thing in Kenobi so far, and I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody who may be listening that may not have seen it, but like there was one. Well, I mean, if you don't want to know anything about Kenobi, maybe just be careful right here. Yeah. But like, if you don't want to know, I'm not spoiling anything big, but if you don't want to know anything and you haven't seen it, then maybe just skip ahead a couple seconds. Yeah. But like, it's your last warning. Yeah. So if there's like a Leia is in this show, a younger
so
baby
Leia, if you will.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
Not baby. She's probably like 7 or 8. She's 10. 10. Okay.
She's 10 years old. So a 10-year-old Leia.
And there's this the one thing that I think has been silly in this scene, in this show so far, and there's one show left as of the day that we're recording this. But there's one scene where, little baby girl Leia is being chased by bad guys, right? And she's being chased through a forest or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's like 2 guys chasing her.
3 guys.
3 guys
2 or
chasing
3 guys,
her.
yeah.
And there's, trees and branches, and she's not running very fast because she's, 10 and not like an Olympic track star. But she's running as a child would. And at one point, she just kind of like ducks under a branch that you could probably snap with one hand. Yet this one branch made one of these thugs chasing her be like,
darn, maybe next time.
Man, foil again. Like, how could I possibly go around her under this branch? I guess she got me this time. So I think that was, kind of silly. Probably could have been choreographed better. But did that take away from me liking the show? No. Did I have to go on Twitter and bitch and moan at like anybody who talked to me because of it's bad writing? No, I'm having fun with the show.
Yeah, for every, because I have my issues with the show, especially like, there's some times where like, wow, they got away kind of easy. Yeah. Or like, it's like, well, how? Because like, if you did this one thing, why couldn't you do it like 2 seconds later? So it's like, I get it, but like, how else are they supposed to get away without like you complicating things? And it's like, I give that a pass, because for the most part, a lot of the stuff I'm really digging. Yeah. Like broad strokes of like where the story's gotten and what the story's giving me. I'm like, yes, I can let this go because they're giving me this. Yes. And like, there's people all like shitting over like all these other content creators about like they're taking like, oh, we should have gotten this, and then an episode. If you just waited a week, you wouldn't be bitching and moaning. And it's like, yeah, maybe go into this without all these expectations and all this checklist of things that you want out of the show.
Then when you don't get them, then it's automatically a bad show for you.
I've never, especially in the past, like since Force Awakens, like especially since Last Jedi. Yeah, I've sort of adjusted how I watch these things is just like, yeah, I could predict and I could probably like, I think this is going to happen. I really would love it if this happened.
Yeah.
But I've learned to temper my expectations because if I don't get A, B, or C, oh, the show's shit or the movie shit. But so I've just learned to not expect and be entitled, because I think that's what the problem is with people. It's like, if I don't get this, then the story is shit and the entire series is shit.
And if you disagree with me, you're an idiot. That's one thing that I can't stand is the whole, well, this is what I think. And if you think something else, then you're just fucking dumb. Yeah. It's like, no, actually, they are allowed to have their own opinion too. It's crazy. And there's no need to you know what? I'm enjoying Kenobi. If there's somebody out there who legitimately is like, this is bad writing, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change mine.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, I do have a solution for you. Don't fucking watch it.
Yeah.
That's my solution for you, and it'll never be a problem for you ever again.
That's what gripes me about that side of the fandom. Sometimes it's kind of like, oh, everything that Disney has pulled up, like made since they took over is shit. You're still watching it though.
Guess what? Don't fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Did Disney make it? Don't watch it.
Yeah.
I'm a Star Wars fan. Well, go cling to the original trilogy then.
Yeah. Go watch that 100 times over.
Don't watch the Disney stuff. If you're continually let down by it, I'm sure Disney's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
If you cancel your Disney Plus subscription because Kenobi, I thought he's so weak. I'm sure Disney will be fine.
Yeah. No, I'm thoroughly enjoying Kenobi. It's given me like everything that I've wanted and everything that I didn't expect that I wanted, because like the whole Leia thing, I did not expect Leia to be in the show.
Yeah,
I thought at the very least would probably get maybe her like running in the background as he meets with her, like with Bail or something.
Right.
I didn't expect her to be like
this much,
in the show this involved and like have her be that crucial to the show.
Yeah.
So we might go on Rogue. I think once the show is over, I think we'll go do a going Rogue and just
talk about broad strokes.
Yeah, broad strokes, like how the show has panned out,
favorite parts and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna talk about the fucking shit ass writing. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm doing better than professional people.
If you, there are a couple of people on TikTok that I've seen. It's like, well, if you think you could do better, then go ahead, like write a fan like short and show me what you think, because like. People like fans will be like, oh man, I wanted this, and like it's like they should listen to fans more and see what they want. It's like if fans ran the story,
it would be a shit show.
It would just be Vader and Obi-Wan fighting every single episode, and flashbacks and cameos of like Ahsoka and Hondo Onaka and like Cad, like they get as many cameos as they could into the show, and just be like oversaturated. We get no character development.
Well, and the obnoxious part about that is if they listen to all those people, there's going to be hordes of other people like, all they do is rely on nostalgia. All they do is rely on past characters. Give us new characters and new stories. And then they do that, and they're going to bitch that this is not Star Wars. This isn't the Star Wars I'm used to. This is totally different. I don't like this. Well, you wanted them to take creative liberties. They took it, and now you're bitching that it's not your Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's like, goddamn, you can't win. If you use legacy characters or, past characters, then you're using the crutch of nostalgia. But if you go in a new direction, it's like, what? But I did not like that. I didn't like that. So yeah, I mean, one thing you learn as you get on in life is that you're never going to please everybody, and that's for damn sure in entertainment. So
not just with Star Wars, but like
everything.
everything.
So yeah. Anyway, Celebration was really fun.
Oh yeah, I like we came back from that like in like post-con blues. Like we've in the past, it's kind of like, oh man, Celebration is over. That sucks, but back to our original life. Yeah. In Orlando was like it wasn't as hard.
We just drove home.
Yeah, Chicago was a little bit rougher because I was like, oh man, I had such a good time meeting new people, because that's when we really started to meet people in like the Schmodown community and making new friends through Star Wars. We told that story a million times with this random girl that watched the Last Jedi panel with us, or the Rise of Skywalker panel with us. But this time around, we knew so many people.
Yeah.
And there were so many new people that I wanted to hang out with, that like the second we came home or the second we were leaving, I'm like, oh, I just want to like live in that space.
Yeah.
Like forever. Because like it's just a positive atmosphere, and like didn't have to worry about like somebody shit on you for your opinion. And you can just enjoy the company of people that love something as much as you do.
Yeah.
So It's like, but next year's in London, so it's like, oh,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know about
That's gonna
that.
be pretty
Unless certain
expensive.
things happen.
Yeah, that'd be I mean, this last trip was an expensive one.
Yeah.
Can you imagine adding an international flight on top of that?
Yeah.
Don't know about that.
And we spoiled ourselves. I think we've already agreed that if we ever travel international, it's at least going to be business class.
Yeah, we did business. Was it business?
It was business
When we went
class
to
for Korea. Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah. If you haven't ever, treat yourself, especially if it's more than like a 10-hour flight.
it was so worth it.
Yeah. It's so worth
To
it.
be able to recline the seat back all the way and actually sleep.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. I can't imagine. I mean, I have flown international economy or coach or whatever you want to call it.
I've done it several times.
No. Well, I don't really remember because I was a lot younger, but like I can't imagine. No, like now, if I just kind of sleep the wrong way, my neck's like, fuck you.
Yeah, because
I'm getting older.
The Korea trip, I've done that twice, once in business and once in comedy. So I've done that trek 2 different ways, and it's
yes, but you got lucky when you went coach because didn't you say there were a bunch of empty seats?
I didn't do that. I didn't realize that. A couple of my other buddies realized like, hey, there's a bunch of empty seats back there. Let's just sneak back there and like put the armrests up and then recline and let's just lie down. I didn't realize
Did
that.
flight attendants not see that?
Nope. They snuck back there.
Snuck back where?
So there's a big like empty like because the flight wasn't full. There was like at least 10 rows of the flight that was empty seats.
Yeah, but like snuck back there. How did the flight attendants not see it? They walk up and down the aisle.
It was during a time when the flight attendants weren't looking, and they just like they pretended to be talking to somebody, and then they looked and like and they ducked back there and got a couple.
You think they would have gotten pissed?
I don't think so. I mean, they probably did see them and just didn't give a shit.
They absolutely probably saw them. Yeah. And they probably went, "Oh, it's a bunch of fucking teenage boys. No thanks."
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just not. They're lying down and being quiet. Who cares?
Yeah. I think that's probably what it's like. They're not causing any trouble. They just want to get sleep.
Exactly. It's a long ass flight. Let's just get there.
Yeah, but I could fall asleep on planes, but the second I wake up and stand up, it feels like I didn't get any sleep.
I don't really sleep on planes.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever really actually slept on a plane was in business.
In business in Korea, yeah.
Like I even with those stupid neck pillows, I don't know what it is, but ever since we had our kid, I have like neck problems from time to time. I don't know if it's from picking her up and lugging her around for,
a year.
A year?
Or 2.
Try 3. It's only just now that she's turning almost 4 that she doesn't ask up every second of the day. But
what did she used to say? Cup instead of up?
I think
Bup. It was bup.
It was bup.
It was bup. Bup piece.
Oh, I forgot about bup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very adorable. Oh my gosh, that was very cute. Yeah, she would
I
always.
just unlocked a core memory for you.
I forgot about that. Yeah, she used to ask to pick her up. She would say "bup." It was very cute. But yeah, I mean, lugging around a kid who only just gets heavier with time.
Yeah.
And I would always pick her up on the same side. Still do in the more rare occasion that I pick her up now. But I don't know if picking her up on the same side all the time for so long, over 3 years, picking her up so much. I don't know if that kind of threw out my alignment or whatever, but I can hurt my neck very easily now.
You go to the chiropractor more than I do. I've gone 0 times.
You say it like I go regularly.
Yeah.
I've been like 3 times total.
But that's more than me.
Well, you're not wrong, but yeah, no, I had to go. There was one time that I think it was probably the strain of lugging around a baby, coupled with the fact that I was working out and I was doing more upper body stuff because I just wanted my upper body to get stronger. And I guess I was doing too much of one type of thing and not enough of the opposite kind of thing, antagonist muscles and all that bullshit. I was doing too many things that strained my trapezius.
Yeah.
And
you're throwing out big words out here. I'm going to take it as disrespect.
And not working out enough of the antagonist muscles, and I think the lats are one of the antagonists to the traps or whatever. But yeah, so at one point I was doing a bunch of workouts like that, and one day I just woke up, I couldn't move my fucking neck, and it hurt like a bitch. And I went, okay, I guess for the first time in my 30 years on this planet, I have to go see a chiropractor because this is horrific.
Yeah,
I could not move my neck at all. So That's a thing now.
She cracked her like a walnut, and you can turn your head after that.
Me like a walnut. That woman cracked.
Let's see if I can do it. Hold on. Oh, there it goes. Oh, no, only one side.
Only one side.
Yeah.
It's only when the microphone's on that you only get one side.
Yeah.
When the microphone's not on, it sounds like bubble wrap. But yeah, no, she cracked me like an egg, and it was amazing. But yeah, I've had to go to her a time or two since then. Mm-hmm. Now I just try to not do those exercises so much. I don't think I'm ever going to do another push-up in my life. Because like I don't know what it is about push-ups or maybe how I do push-ups. Mm-hmm. That was part of the problem, and doing too many press type things. But yeah, so I get nervous sleeping on airplanes.
Yeah.
And those neck pillows. Sometimes
I get nervous on airplanes.
But those little neck pillows, I slept with your neck pillow last time. And I'm like, this doesn't do bullshit.
It
needs to be much bigger and thicker and
bigger and thicker. Ooh. Baby girl.
Ooh. Yeah, no, it needs to be like memory foam, and it needs to be just bigger.
Yeah. I mean, because I gave it to you because when we went to Anaheim, that's why I got it. And then like I was like, here, you try it. And I actually tried sleeping with that. And I was like, it makes a tiny bit of difference.
Tiny bit.
A very slight, like you can notice it, and I can actually fall asleep a little bit easier, but it still feels like I don't get any sleep on an airplane.
It's still not comfortable.
Yeah.
At all. But yeah.
But it did come to use because you needed it at the hotel.
Well, that's because hotels, I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because down pillows, down feathered filled pillows, are they cheaper?
I guess.
Or do people think they're luxurious because they're down? Like,
they suck. I hate down pillows.
Down pillows suck such ass. Like
I have to sleep with like 2 or 3 of them to give me good night's sleep.
It was halfway through celebration. I did wake up and my neck was kind of sore. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's because these fucking pillows offer nothing. I might as well be sleeping on a plank of wood.
Yeah. So you use my airplane pillow one night. And
so
it's like,
yeah,
there it goes.
One night I snapped it around my neck and I woke up the next day better. Yeah. So it serves some purpose.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're gonna go to London unless we come into a buttload of money.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that I can justify spending that much money.
I would
basically just meet up with our friends.
Well, if we did go, we'd probably do something outside of celebration.
That will probably also cost money.
Yeah. Like a museum or like see Buckingham Palace or the outside of it. But like, yeah. Or see like the big fucking clock, Big Ben.
The big clock.
The big clock. Oh boy, we don't have that in the States.
Oh, cool. I know what time it is now.
Yeah, great. I would love to go. Like, come on, like an international trip with friends, like with friends. We'd be like, if we were out there and like the friends that we met out in Anaheim were there with us, it'd be a trip with friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can justify spending that much money.
Yeah,
I can hang out with my friends here for a lot less. But
celebration.
Time will tell.
Celebration.
As of right now, I will happily stream it at home. But then after we got home, we got fucking COVID.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And
I still don't think we got it from celebration. I think we got it from the airport. That's my theory.
I don't know about the incubation period. If we got on the way home, that's too fast.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because we got home like late Sunday night. And then I tested positive Tuesday morning.
It's weird because like out of everybody that we interacted with that week, we only know of one person that caught it. And he tested positive days after we did.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, I think the incubation, it could be like it's something fucking dumb like 2 or 3 to 14 days or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
It's like, very specific. Thank you.
Yeah. But like,
I don't know.
Yeah. I would have been surprised if we got out of that trip and didn't get it.
Yeah. There's actually a couple people that we went with that I'm shocked didn't test positive or anything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it sucked. But we got through it.
We got through it. Yeah. I got hit harder than you did just because
you're a baby.
I'm a baby.
You're a big
old baby.
Baby dudes are babies. What would happen if you guys had to bear the children? God damn. God, the population would be much thinner.
You slept most because when you tested positive, you isolated yourself, and I went in and checked on you a couple of times, and you were sleeping. I was like, okay, I'll let her just sleep. And
a couple times. What happened 2 days later? Who slept for 30 hours?
I had vertigo.
Vertigo.
Hey,
I was dizzy.
shut up. You've never experienced like for my people that have never experienced vertigo.
I'm really talking out of my ass. I'm sure it
like
sucks.
the first time I ever got it was the worst ever. Like every time after that, it has been as bad as the first. Because I think the first time you ever get vertigo is like it hits you on your ass. Literally, the first time I had vertigo, I woke up to go to work. At like, what was it, like 4 a.m. or some dumb shit, like when we worked at that
4 a.m.
because we had to get there. No, yeah, it was like 5 or 6, like dumber. It was before the sun came up.
Okay.
And I remember like getting out of bed, and I literally had to catch myself on the wall because I got up and the world kept moving, and I was like, and I remember you going.
I was actually legitimately annoyed with you.
You're like, what is wrong with you?
Like,
stop it.
being so fucking dramatic.
I was like, I'm not being dramatic. Like for the like vertigo, it's like. It felt like vertigo feels like, especially the first time you get it, like it feels like the entire, like you went out drinking the entire night and the world just won't stop spinning, but you're totally coherent of everything you're doing. So
you're telling me it's like being drunk without the hangover?
Yes.
Cool.
But you still get dizzy sick because the world keeps spinning.
Never mind.
So, but like you can't stand up because your balance is all fucked up, and like every time I've gotten up, I had to crawl to the bathroom or crawl anywhere I wanted to go, and that's why you stay in bed, because like you don't want to like stand up too quick and then crack your head on like the table because you thought you were good. So it sucks because like ever since then, every migraine I've gotten vertigo afterwards, and I woke up with a migraine after my first night of COVID. And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have lingering effects because vertigo is going to set in. And it set in after that first night. So,
baby.
I'm a baby. Yeah. Yeah. You get vertigo and see how it goes.
I remember I was like legitimately annoyed with you that first time.
Yeah. Because I had no idea what was wrong. I was like, what is wrong with me? I have no idea. I can't stand up. And I had to call in like my backup that day. I was like, you're gonna have to go in for me because I can't stand up. I can't move at all because anytime I turn my head one way, the world just won't stop. The world just goes with it. I can't get my balance.
Yeah, I remember because we both had one bad night each. Mm-hmm. My bad night happened. It wasn't even like super bad. Like I was just like really hot. I probably had a fever. Mm-hmm. We never actually recorded fevers on ourselves through the duration. But I think that night I probably did have one. I just never took it to see that I did. Yeah. If that made any sense. Because I just woke up. I remember waking up like several times, at least like 4 times that night. Mm-hmm. And then one time I was like sweating through the covers off of myself. Mm-hmm. I had a hard time getting back to sleep. Then I woke up again and I was kind of chilly that time. So I wrapped myself back up and I wake up again. I'm fucking hot. Mm-hmm. You know? So it was just a hard night. And then the very next night was your hard night.
It was pretty much the exact same thing.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm feeling a little bit better than I was. Let me let him sleep today. Mm-hmm. And, 9 o'clock rolls by. I'm like, he's still sleeping. He's not feeling well. We both got fucking COVID. 10 o'clock rolls by. I'm like, he's not feeling well. Okay, we both have COVID. 11 o'clock rolls by. I'm like, he's not feeling well. We both have COVID. Noon rolls by and I'm like, okay. Okay. It's like when somebody sneezes and you say bless you and then he sneezes again and you say bless you and they sneeze again. You're like, fuck you.
Shut up.
Shut up. Like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, noon rolls by and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I look in the room and there you are, like a little fucking angel just snoozing away. I'm tired too. I got COVID too. 1 o'clock rolls by and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And I was like, I was online on my computer because I was still working that day. Mm-hmm. And somebody was asking me like, oh, how are you feeling and whatever. I'm like, I'm not great. Like I've definitely been better. And they go, how's your husband? I'm like, well, it's 2 o'clock and he's still in bed and I haven't heard a word from him today. So I don't fucking know. 2 o'clock rolls by, and I think at like 2:30 or 3, I go in there like, what the fuck is hhappening? Are you? Do I need to take you somewhere? And you're like, I get vertigo.
Well, because like around like because like every time you come and check out with me, it's not like I was like dead asleep. I heard you come into the door. I'm like, maybe I'll try to get up. At like you'd walk in, I hear you shuffle in and shuffle out. I'm like, maybe I'll try to get up. And right around 11, I'm like, okay, that's not happening because I get up and I turn my head. I'm like, yep, there it is. And I laid back down. I was like, maybe it'll pass. Maybe if I sleep it off in the next 2 hours, it'll go away. You come in at 2, and I'm like, no, it's not going away.
Yeah.
I got vertigo.
But the thing is, when I came in at like 2 or 3 p.m., mind you, everybody, I had no idea. It was then that you were like, I get vertigo. I'm like, oh, of course you fucking have vertigo. Of course you have fucking vertigo. Of course you do. And like 5 o'clock rolls by and you're still in bed. I'm like, do you want to eat something or whatever? You haven't eaten anything all day. I need you to at least drink water so you don't fucking go to the ER for dehydration.
I lived on Gatorade, ginger ale, water, and bread that day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I brought it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I need you to drink something because I'm not taking you to the hospital for dehydration.
That actually did help because I was like, I can totally see myself getting dehydrated.
Yes, I know. I'm a nurturer. I know it worked. That's why I brought it. Actually, now that we talk about it, I need to actually replenish my Gatorade stock because I just always like to have some in the house. Yeah. After the last dehydration incident we had.
Yeah, both of us.
Both of us. But yeah, well, my time with dehydration, that was not my fault.
Yeah, because
that was
sick.
Norovirus's fault. And I was violently vomiting, and that's why I had no water in my body. That was not my fault.
My 2 stints of dehydration were totally my fault.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, I made you drink. I'm like, you better fucking drink water because if you start curling up with dehydration, I'm not calling the ambulance.
The ginger ale helped settle the queasiness from the dizziness, and then the Gatorade actually really helped because I was like, I need some electrolytes in me. I need something to. Because the bread was just to fill my stomach and settle it, and the ginger ale was like, get some volume in there. But then the Gatorade was like, I need electrolytes in my body because I haven't eaten anything.
I was able to force feed you a cup of rice, white rice.
Yeah, that actually helped really because like if I try to eat something that's not bland, I'm just gonna throw up, and then we're gonna be
that's like rule number 1 of stomach aches is eat something bland.
Yeah. I would be in a whole world of trouble had I tried to force something with more like substance down and then ended up vomiting it out.
Yeah,
and then it's like, well,
here's a spicy tuna roll.
Yeah, no.
I think that'll settle your stomach.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So the bread and the rice was like us, and the Gatorade was like, I didn't want to like chug it down. I was like, let me just sip it like every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, and that helped a lot. So
yeah. And then spoiler alert, Andrew didn't get out of bed all day.
No, I stayed in bed all day.
He stayed in bed all day and woke up the next day and finally joined us among the living.
Yeah, that was a rough 2 days for me.
Yeah, I know. And so yeah, luckily that passed because I feel like, because when you told me you had vertigo, I'm like, oh, fucking course you have vertigo. Then I started like Googling, what can I do at home to help alleviate the symptoms of vertigo?
Yes, those actually did help.
I know. I'm a nurturer. I told you.
No, the one that helped, because there's one where like he said to like grab the bottom of your ears and apply pressure and like breathe in and then breathe out. That helped like sort of, because I think it's supposed to help settle the crystals in your ear. That actually helped a little. But the one that really helped was that eye exercise to like follow a pen and do that. That actually helped the headache, and that actually it like helped the vertigo pass faster, if that makes any sense.
I know. You're welcome. I know, because I was
those
nervous.
exercises. So those I'll probably keep in my back pocket if vertigo ever sets in again, because those helped out a lot.
Yeah.
So
because while I was Googling it, there were like people were commenting like, oh, it actually really helps. Like I did the ear one. And my vertigo cleared up after 4 days. I'm like, what?
No, that's if, because like I can see that helping if the first time I got it, where it really just like you can't even roll over in the bed without being dizzy. That I can see it taking 4 days. This one helped out with it like almost immediately. But like, there's the one that was in that video. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that one looked. If you're like dizzy to the point of nausea, that one was like, oh,
yeah.
You want to make yourself fucking throw up to maybe feel better quicker.
He's like, turn your head so you know which side is causing you the vertigo. I'm like, not doing that.
You want to make yourself feel 10 times worse to maybe feel better.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll work. I don't know.
It's just supposed to realign your, like your balance or something and the crystals in your ear. But like the pressure and like the following the pen was a godsend. It's like it actually helped the headache. So
well, luckily it passed in like a day and a half completely. And then it was just, recovering and resting
hoping
up.
for that negative test.
Just praying for a negative test. I took one at like day 5 and it was still positive. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
All these people out here like, I got a negative test after 3 days. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. So, and I learned that COVID tests are not cheap.
Oh, no, they're not.
Like we had a couple that it was part of that thing where you could like request however many free kits from the government.
Yeah.
And we definitely burned through those real quick. And then we went and we got some of the Binax ones or whatever they're called from the store. They're not cheap.
Yeah, they're like $25.
I got 2 boxes and it was like $50.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn. So after I got the positive test at day 5, I'm like, you know what? I just need to stick it out and just wait until day 10 because that's how long they say
to wait. Yeah.
to wait. Because they're like, well, technically you don't need to retest if your symptoms are improving and you don't have a fever. I'm like, bitch, I never had a fever. At least I never recorded one.
Yeah.
And my symptoms were improving, but I still got a positive test at day 5.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? These tests are not cheap. I'm just going to wait until day 10 because surely it has to be negative by then.
Yeah.
So I think I tested on day 9 and it looked negative, but I could have sworn with my stupid head and eyes, I was like, is that a really, really faint line underneath?
They just need to have digital ones. Like, no.
I know that
or
they
yes.
have them for pregnancy tests.
Yeah.
Like, I've definitely taken the pregnancy test where it's like, if you see 1 line or you see 2 lines, and it's like, especially if you're hoping it's negative, your mind can play stupid tricks on you. Be like, is that a line? Is it like really,
is it
really
blue?
faint?
Is it not?
Like, is
blue?
it a really, really faint line or not? Thank God they came out with pregnancy tests that are like yes and no. Like there's really no mistaking. Yes, positive. No, negative. No, it's no. Like, do you think you see 2 lines? And maybe one's kind of faint. So, but if they made those for COVID tests, they would be so much more.
Oh
expensive.
yeah, they'd be twice as expensive.
So yeah, I had a really, really faint line when I tested on the 9th day.
Yeah.
And me being me, I took another one on the 10th day and I was like, okay, that looks clear.
Yeah. I think I tested the day after your 10th day. Because I was a day behind you.
More or less. And yeah, I thought I saw like a really, really, really faint line on yours. But I was like, you know what? If that is the case, then by tomorrow you should be clear, blah, blah, blah. So luckily we got through it without any, any extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah.
So, that's fine by me. I would like to not have to do it again.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure it's inevitable for everybody at some point.
Yeah. I mean, like we were on that list of like, oh, we've been in the pandemic for 2.5 years and we've never caught it. And we were on that exclusive list. And then we were
on the VIP list of, wow, it's been 2.5 years and I have never gotten it.
Yeah.
And then we go to stupid Anaheim.
At the time of our lives in Anaheim.
Had we not gone, we'd still be going strong with our streak. But, now that it's over, it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It happened. It's done.
Yeah. In the moment, it was just like,
should we not have gone?
Yeah. It's like, was it worth it to, go and have fun? But then you come back and get exposed and. Yeah.
But the bright side is it's over.
Yeah.
So, hindsight's 2020. But yeah.
I think it was worth it.
Yeah.
Even though we caught COVID, it was still a great time.
Yeah, it was a good time. And at least now, and it's also now that we've had COVID, now it's like not so much fear of the unknown. Now it's, at least we've been through it once.
I'm glad that we caught it when we did. Because had we caught it when
while we were there?
Well, not while we were there, but like if we would have caught it like last year or the year before that.
I feel like it was different.
It was different then. It's like I'd be panicking like, holy shit. what do we do? Now that it's like we're on like the quote unquote tail end of the pandemic, quote unquote, using those quotes very loosely. It's like now we have a better understanding of COVID.
Yeah.
We're both fully vaccinated. Can you imagine if we would have caught it if we weren't vaccinated?
I don't know. I don't know what that would be like, and I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But I'm just, it's kind of like, at least we've been through it.
Yeah.
And things are usually less daunting when you've already been through it. So, you know, if we're going to make lemonade out of lemons or whatever.
Life gives you lemons.
When life gives you lemons. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. So it was a wild couple of May was just like.
May was a lot.
It's a lot to handle.
And then I was supposed to go on a work trip like 2 weeks after we got back from celebration, and then COVID hit, and I was like, no, I can't do this.
That's not happening.
Like, I'm just barely recovered. You're behind me in your recovery. I can't leave you home with symptoms to watch the kid alone. That's just not right. So, you know, luckily or unluckily, depending on how you look at it, I didn't go. But, you know, it's like, 2022. You can join anything virtually now. Yeah. And I did
Zoom me in.
Zoom me, baby. And I did join the second day, so I got to listen in and whatever. So
yeah, and luckily I think they said it wasn't like totally crucial you needed to be there for these meetings. It was just like,
it was more just like team building and whatever. And luckily I'd gotten to meet the core team back in March when I first started. So that's good. And, you know, there's going to be an in-person meeting every year. So there's always next year. And I'm hoping next year will be in Florida. Yeah. So,
just drive over there.
The less plane rides,
the better.
The better.
Yeah. I mean, we have to go on another trip soon. So we're going to like be even more extra cautious this time around.
Yep. I think I'm going to get some disposable masks, and we're going to wear them under our cloth masks. And I'm like we said, I'm going to not get the in-flight snacks and drinks, even though it's my very, very, very most favorite part about being on a plane. Because I don't know who's been having their fingers up their butts and then they touch my peanuts.
We're flying Spirit there, so don't expect any in-flight anything.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. We did it. We flying Spirit because we're trying to save some money, but like I can't stand Spirit. Every experience I've had at Spirit, it's like seats are uncomfortable, all these hidden fees. And it's like,
well, we'll get through it. It'll be fine.
But we're flying United back, so and I enjoy
United. We'll get through it. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have any of those because I don't know who's been touching what, and then they touch my pretzels, and then I put them in my fucking mouth. Same with the drinks. So
we'll pack our own snacks or something.
I'll maybe that. Maybe we'll throw some snackies in our bags, and I'm not gonna get the drinks. Because then they touch the cups and then I put the cup on my mouth. Yeah. Who knows? And then I'll probably just bathe in hand sanitizer the whole time. Anytime we touch anything, I'll just hang on and I'll get like an aerosol can.
Put my hands in my pockets for while we're at the airport. Just like don't
touch fucking anything.
Don't touch anything.
And if you do touch something, hand sannies, or hand wipies, because I'd like to not have to do that again.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. But yeah, that was our month of May. It was ups and downs.
Because I still got, my nose is still, out of nowhere, my nose is congested today.
I think that's allergies.
Maybe. I never really had allergies before. Did COVID give me allergies?
Maybe.
I've had like one side of my nose has been congested today.
It's just stuffy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the pollen count has been off the charts as of late, I hear.
Well, one of my coworkers in Texas, she's like been knocked down with her allergy. She's like, yeah, there's a dust storm blowing in from the Sahara. I'm like, what? That's a thing? Like, that's a dust storm from the desert? And she's like, she actually had to go to the ER to get an inhaler because she couldn't breathe remember when you came to Texas with me and the pollen was wild?
Oh yeah, no, I was struggling with that.
I'm like, okay, well, news to me. Didn't realize Texas had such a problem with allergies. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just a bad time of year. I've never had a problem with seasonal allergies.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been hit as hard because I've been cautious with my nasal spray. So, God, I'm so glad I got that. But
getting old, man. Maybe I'm picking up allergies as I get older.
It's enjoyable, isn't it? I just went to the eye doctor and I have to actually get glasses. That's fun.
Computer glasses.
Computer glasses.
Not reading glasses.
Not reading glasses, but I could get glasses for distance, but I don't need them. But I was recommended computer glasses to help to prevent my eyes from getting worse.
Like with an actual prescription?
Yes.
Not like the ones that you just buy off the shelf. They're good for blue light.
No. These are actually to help my eyes relax while I'm in front of my computer screen all day long.
Because you are in front of your computer screen
Exactly.
almost 24/7.
So it's like they're basically preventative from helping.
That's good.
Preventing my eyes from getting damaged even more because with age your eyes just go
that's good.
whack.
Considering you haven't been to the eye doctor in about 10 years.
Probably even more.
So yeah. Good to check in every so often.
Mm-hmm. And like the lady was like, "You like these? Or like these?" I'm like, I got the simplest looking ones. Like they're like Clark Kent glasses. That's all they really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I went a couple weeks ago to the same doctor for my eye appointment, because it had been almost 4 years for me. Because I remember the last time I'd been to the eye doctor was in my first trimester of pregnancy. And so it had to have been somewhere almost 4 years ago. And yeah, I don't know.
Just about 4 years.
Just about.
Well, no, because you were pregnant the last time you went. So.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
But and I didn't even get my eyes dilated that time because pregnant. But I remember. So it's been a while, and I remember walking into the lobby where they have all of the frames laid out, for when you have to go frame shopping after you get your exam. And I remember walking in. I hadn't even had my exam yet, and I walked in with my original glasses on, and I kind of looked around, and the girl comes up to me unprompted. I didn't say shit. I didn't say I want glasses just like these ones. Unprompted, the girl comes up to me and she's like, "Listen, you're not gonna find frames like that anymore because they're just not in style." I'm like, God damn. Thanks. She's like, "That's just not what's in style. They don't make frames that small anymore." Because everything is like
big frames.
Gen Z is basically just the 90s recycled.
Yeah.
So they're just like big square ass glasses that take up half of your fucking face. So I got the smallest big ones that I possibly could.
That's pretty much because like there was a couple that I immediately put it on. I'm like, no, that is not what I'm looking for. It's like, I'm not going to wear these outside of the house. They're for when I'm staring in front of a computer screen, when I'm trying to impress my coworkers when I'm on a Zoom call.
Yeah. Hey guys, look at my
frames. There was one that like literally took up half my face. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
So like they're basic. They're very like I have a very simple style.
You do.
I have a very simple
very
style.
Much do.
And I was like, yeah, the flashy it is this like silver stripe down this half of the side of the whatever part of the
cute.
So I was like, okay. And it was the first pair I tried and I was like, yeah, that looks good. And then I kept trying it on. I'm like, no. And I felt bad. She's like, you maybe we'll try this. And it's like giving me Tommy Hilfiger and Gucci. I'm like, no, I'm not buying those.
Not buying Gucci.
Yeah. For sitting in front of a computer, I'm not going to buy Gucci for computer glasses.
The glasses I got are Swarovski. But it sounds fancy, but they were among the cheaper frames. I forget what brand the sunglasses I got are. I don't know if they were like Juicy Couture. I think they were actually. Yeah. But I was like, at first I was just like looking at the frames and whatever and what I thought would look okay on me.
Yeah.
And then once I realized what section I'm in, I'm like, Gucci, $300. No. I'm like, girl, don't even show me those. Yeah. But yeah, I felt bad because I went through a lot of glasses too, and they're like, yeah, we have to sanitize all of these. I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry. She's like, it's whatever. It's a slow day.
Yeah.
I'm like, just dunk them in some Bacta. It'll be fine.
Oh, it's funny because the first time I stepped in there, like, because I don't know what they did with you. They're like, yeah, you come back here and wash your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did that. And like the lady was bringing back, I don't remember her name, but like, she's like, oh, so, how are you feeling? Because like, oh yeah, I'm feeling great because they knew I had COVID. And I was like, I'm feeling much better. It's like, oh, but Star Wars was great. I'm like, oh yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, no. One of the girls that works there knows my parents pretty well because they've been going there a long time.
Yeah.
And we are absolutely in need of having a play date with her and her son. So yeah, good times.
Great times.
Getting old.
I think we'll end here. It's a pretty good episode. But yeah, we'll try to get another one up maybe next week. But I definitely want to do a going rogue next week to recap Kenobi. So maybe that's what we'll do. Instead of Rad, we'll do Going Rogue.
Maybe.
Just to supplement that.
Okay.
Because I do want to do more Going Rogue.
Okay.
So, because everybody seems to express interest in it. So we'll do that. But yeah, so Nicki Dimalanta. Radio voice. Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter, Dimmy, DIMMMYYY.
It's for me, Twitter and Instagram at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA, and on TikTok at Going Rogue? No, TikTok at Rogue Leader Drew. If you're listening to this on audio form, please follow the feed and rate us.
And if you're listening on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon in the lower right hand corner to see we do things on YouTube.
Which is, of course, every Monday going Beyond the Schmodown, and then next week we'll be Going Rogue instead of Rad.
Word.
So, yes, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Radcast, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.